And you know, they're all warmed up for choir practice.
I know, the whole room could just hang, you know.
I mean, yeah. When we do Alleluia, ooh, I love it. I love it. It just transports me. So thank you all for bringing your voices and your love and your light. Our 2019 theme is spirituality in action. And the February theme is the common good. The common good. Today is all about oneness. Now, between the music and the amazing readings and prayers, they've just about done my message. But y'all know me, I'm talking anyway. So our topic this morning is oneness. There is one cosmic reality principle in all of everything. It goes by many names, but I call it God. I call it lots of other things, but today I'm going to call it God a lot, because that's one of the things that it is. All creation originates in this one source. In the beginning, God. In the beginning, God. God is, and God is all that is. From this one infinite source flows everything. All the physical world, all the mental world, all of the laughter, all of the love, all of the beauty, anything we can imagine comes from this one absolute source. And so do we. Each one. I loved when you were talking about the light. Thank you, Lorelei. Because that oneness, it's that divine spark that is in each of us that lives and grows, that is curious and that wants to love and that wants to grow and that wants to experience. That's what we're here for. All physical and all spiritual laws are included in this oneness. So we've got gravity, we've got electricity, we've got our spiritual laws that say, as you give, so shall you receive. We've got our spiritual laws that say thoughts become things. All of this is within Godness, for there is no place else for anything to come from. And we are all part of the divine oneness. All part of the divine oneness. We're interconnected, we're connected. We are one with everything. Now I imagine many of you have heard the story about the Buddhist monk and the enlightened hot dog vendor.
I don't think so.
So the Buddhist monk goes to the hot dog stand, puts down his $20 and says, "Make me one with everything." So, we're not even done yet. And so the hot dog vendor, with great care, prepares this hot dog with all the fixings. I mean, there's everything on it. Gives it to him with a bow, and the monk says, "Well, thank you, but I didn't get my change. And I gave you 20, and I didn't get my change." And the enlightened hot dog vendor says, "Ah, beloved brother, true change comes from within."
Where does she get?
Okay. But seriously, we are all connected on a very deep level. In oneness, by definition, that we're not separate from anyone, we're not separate from anything. Look at or feel your hands and your arms. Be aware of your chest and your belly and your legs. Contemplate for a moment your amazing mind that has thousands and thousands of thoughts that run through it every day. Are you not absolutely amazing? Are you not absolutely amazing that all of this could come together? And look around. You're not like anyone else. I mean, you don't look like anyone else, although as I look around, I see so many ways that beauty shows up. so many ways that divine love and light shows up, for it is in all of you. But we don't look alike. We don't think alike. Some of us really don't think alike. We don't have the same passions and desires and dreams. So how did you get so wonderfully, beautifully amazing? How did you get that way? Well, let me tell you. You came from the one source that contains absolutely everything. You came from the one source that wants to create, that wants to show up, that wants to live, that wants to love. The one source that has so much creativity that even billions of people are not enough of a creative output. This creativity never stops. In the book Radiance, Experiencing the Divine Presence, Gina Lake wrote, "Nevertheless, you are not who you think you are. Thinking gives you the illusion of being someone, but you are not someone, but rather oneness itself, the divine masquerading as an individual. The masquerade is for the purpose of exploring this physical reality and for having the unique experiences you are having as someone. The divine is enjoying the experience it is having through all of creation, even experiences you would consider unenjoyable. What the divine enjoys is experience, any experience. In order for the divine to have a unique experience through every possible human being, it was necessary for every human being to have a separate sense of self and to forget the oneness that's our true nature. So when we came into birth, when we came into this life, we forgot a whole lot of stuff. We forgot our oneness. But it is always with us, whether we remember it or not. So as humans, we spend much of our time having forgotten. But it's the underlying truth of who we are. Now, I don't know if you all have noticed, but this oneness does not always show on the surface. Right, Mary? We are humans, right? It does not always show on the surface, but it is absolutely huge. The largest known organism on Earth is a fungus, Mammillaria astoyi. It's also called the honey mushroom or humongous fungus. Through DNA testing, scientists have found that it occupies over 2,300 acres in Oregon's Blue Mountains. Now, to put that in perspective, that would be 1,665 Super Bowl fields, or 4 square miles. And this one organism weighs as much as a blue whale, which is a lot. A lot, right? Despite its vast size, only a small amount of it can be seen on the surface. Most of it's underground. Only a little bit can be seen on the surface, and only for part of the year. It blooms in the fall with mushrooms. Now, the mushrooms, these are all from the same plant, from the same organism, and yet they look different. They come in various colors. They come in various shapes. They grow on some grow on trunks, some grow on the ground, some grow on trees. They grow in various places, but they are all from that one source. Does that sound familiar? I mean, that is our teaching, that we are all from the same source. Each unique individual, each of us, has our own characteristics, our own gifts, our own talents, our own quirks and foibles, our own way of moving through this world, and yet we are all grounded in the one source, the one source. Ernest Holmes said, there's only one life, that life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is your life and my life right now and always. Now, oneness. Many of us have had occasional glimpses of what we might consider oneness. You know, when you see just an absolutely beautiful sunset or sunrise, and you move into that place of feeling one with everything, like nothing could go wrong because you are one with the beauty of the universe. Or the first look at your child or grandchild as a baby, where you absolutely fall in love with the entire world because it's so magical, so precious. All of that is an experience of oneness. I mean, we say, oh, it took my breath away. I absolutely didn't know how to describe it, because that oneness is something that we really can't adequately describe. We know the feeling when we're feeling that connection. Now, as humans, we just don't always feel that, obviously. We were made to forget that, so we could come in and have these physical human experiences, so that we could feel the dirt under our feet and under our hands when it comes time to plant, so that we could feel the breeze on our face, so that we could experience all that this amazing physical world has to offer. And spirit experiences that in, through, and as us. Now, I think we've all felt the kind of connection with others that, you know, like when you're thinking about somebody that you haven't had contact with in ages and they call. Or when people from various parts of the world have these amazing new scientific breakthroughs, they haven't been in contact, and yet that often happens at the same time. It's like Spirit wants this idea out there, and I'm not just going to put it out there through one being, I'm going to put it out there through many, many beings. And you know, they've even done some amazing studies with dogs about how dogs know when their owners are coming home. Yeah. Now, they don't just know when you're a block away. They've set up cameras and had people, this is a study that they've done, have people drive around town in various strange places, and when you get a text, then you head home. And the videos show that the dogs know, even if they're coming at random and strange times from random and strange places. They are part of that oneness. We are one with all of the plants, all of the animals. As humans, we don't always connect, but there is that connection, that oneness that is part of who we are. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, had this to say: self and others can only be really be understood in terms of relationship. We see that self-interest and others' interest are closely interrelated. There is no self-interest completely unrelated to others' interest. Now, due to the fundamental interconnectedness which lies at the heart of reality, your interest is also my interest. From this, it becomes clear that my interest and your interest are intimately connected. In a deep sense, they converge. And as Ernest Holmes said, there's nothing in the universal order that denies the individual's good or self-expression, so long as such self-expression does not contradict the general good, does not contradict goodness itself. There's nothing in the universe that denies us the right to be happy if our happiness does not deny or interfere with the general good. Oneness is the basis of our science of mind and spirit principle. It's the basis of our teaching. It's the basis of our philosophy. And when we allow that oneness to be something that we live from, that we allow to live through us, then absolutely amazing things can happen, and we create a world that is ethical and loving and embraces all people. One of the statements that Centers for Spiritual Living has is that we, sure, right, right, well, later. It's incredibly wise. Creating a world that works for everyone and for all of life. Now, our thoughts and our words and our actions are what I hate it when it just
was trying to send it.
It worked, right. Our thoughts and our words and our actions and our choices are what make a difference as to how much of this spirit we let flow through us, as how much we let of this goodness express. And so it is up to us as conscious people, as conscious beings who are growing spiritually and who want just what I said about a world that works for everyone, who want that. It behooves us to pay attention to what we're thinking. It behooves us to pay attention to what we're saying. It behooves us to pay attention to the choices that we are rippling out. Because when we make choices, they don't affect just us and our families and those that are around us. That energy moves out and out and out and ripples around the whole planet. So as conscious beings, we get to choose what we're going to say. We get to choose where we're going to shop. It behooves us to choose what we're going to eat, who we're going to vote for. All of these things are spiritual decisions that each one of us gets to allow the Spirit in us to make through us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And as conscious beings, we get to ask the question, okay, God is going to flow through me. There's no question about that. That is a given. If this Spirit is going to flow through me, how do I want it to show up? How am I going to express this amazing divine life that I have been given? Because we are absolutely at choice. Now, the deeper that we as individuals sink into the principles of love and equality and compassion and oneness, the more of that there is in the world. And does this world need more of that good stuff or what? Absolutely. We're here to bring it. Now, one of the ways that we can do that as individuals, I mean, there are lots of ways we can do it, but as individuals, is to remember the Namaste blessing. Now, Namaste means the Godness in me greets the Godness in you. The divine light in me greets the divine light in you. The oneness in me is connected to the oneness in you. It can be said so many different ways. Now, often it's done with prayer hands and a bowing of the head. You don't have to do it that way. You can be sly about it. Nobody even needs to know. You can simply, winky, right. You can simply look at someone or think of someone and let those words come to you. The divine in me honors the divine in you. The divine in me honors the divine in you. So look around and silently or out loud, look at somebody, remember that and say that. The divine in me honors the divine in you. The divine in me honors the divine in you. That's one of those things that we can do. We can do it all week long. We can do it whenever We want to feel more connection than we're feeling. Because I don't know about y'all, but there's some people that I don't feel real connected with. I don't feel real connected with this microphone. I think it, when we started singing and I was ripping the microphone off so other people could sing in it, yeah, I think that did it. But when we remember that namaste greeting and make it part of who we are, that gives Spirit, God, the divine, a chance to show up in this blessing way. Because just like those dogs know when their owners are coming home, the people that we are blessing with that feel on some level, for we are all connected. So let's go back to our affirmation for today. Let's say it together.
I am one with all there is. I recognize myself in all I see, feel, hear, and touch, and in everyone I meet. Life is
good. So your homework, should you decide to accept it, is to take that little affirmation card home and play with it. I say homework, but it's home play. Because this is something that opens our hearts, opens our souls. I want to close with a quote from John Philip Newell. He's a poet, a peacemaker, a minister, and a scholar. And I love these words. We live in a moment of grace. Through the hedges of our divisions, we are beginning to glimpse again the beauty of life's oneness. We are beginning to hear in a way that humanity has never heard before the essential harmony that lies at the heart of the universe. And we are beginning to understand, amidst the horror and suffering of our divisions, that we will be well to the extent that we move back into relationship with one another, whether as individuals and families or as nations and species. We would do well to move back into relationship. And so let's take that into prayer as practitioners stand with me, knowing this truth of oneness about all of us. I'm absolutely grateful for this opportunity to realize my oneness, for this opportunity to encourage others to remember their oneness, for there is only one of us here, just God showing up in so many amazing, amazing forms. So this is who we are. And so I claim that as we walk forth this week, as we leave this place, as we go to choir practice, as we do what we do, as we go through our weeks and work and interact with our families and spend our lives in ways that we choose, I claim that we remember our oneness. We remember that that source is always here for us, that that goodness is always here for us, that we are absolutely at choice as to how we want Spirit to express as us. And so I open to goodness. I open to goodness for myself and for all others. I claim a new awareness upon this planet of the power of love, the power of compassion. I claim wonder in the lives of each person that hears my voice, as they are reminded in clear and delightful ways of their connection to the divine and how it is here for each of us. And so in this amazing gratitude, I just let this go, knowing that it will manifest for each of us in the perfect way, that our paths will unfold just as if magically, to remind us that we too are part of this oneness that I call God. And so we are blessed, I am grateful, I let it go, and so it is.
So it is.